Beloved soul, heaven is still. The wind is quiet because the message is holy. God says this is not a regular hour, not just another sunrise. This is not one more video, one more word, one more prophecy. This is the divine moment your spirit has waited for in silence. Today, July 12th, is not marked by numbers or clocks. It is marked by heaven. It is stitched into the scroll of time by the hand of God, and right now, that scroll has been opened. Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of your timeline, his wings stretched wide, his sword glowing with divine fire, and he is saying, "You must not turn away this time." The gates of heaven were opened early this morning for one purpose: to reach you. To interrupt the noise in your mind, to stop the spiral of overthinking, the weight of confusion, the cloud of self-doubt. You felt it earlier. That strange stillness, the goosebumps, the weight in your chest. That wasn't anxiety. That was the presence of a messenger. You may have turned your head thinking someone was behind you, and someone was. It was Michael. He has come not to scare, not to shame, but to protect, to awaken, to deliver. You were crying in ways no one heard, but heaven did. You were hoping in ways no one noticed, but heaven did. You were carrying what would have broken someone else, and you still got up. God says, "I saw it." The angels wept, watching you hide your pain just to keep peace. You didn't want to be a burden, so you smiled through the ache, but heaven was not fooled. Heaven has been keeping record, and now the record is being redeemed. A once closed door is creaking open. A once delayed moment is racing toward you. A once blocked blessing is now being cleared. Michael says, "I fought in the dark for you. I cut through what was holding you. Now I'm here to speak. You must listen." This moment is not one you can afford to scroll past. This is the moment where destiny bends in your favor. God says you are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not cursed. You were protected. You were hidden for a season so heaven could finish what it started. There has been a spiritual war over your name. An unseen resistance. You kept wondering why things never flowed, why blessings almost arrived, then disappeared, why relationships almost worked, then broke, why doors opened halfway, then slammed shut. It wasn't you, it was interference, but that interference has now been removed. Heaven says the curse has been reversed, the delay has been canceled, the spiritual fog has been cleared. What was blocking your path was not visible to your eyes. But Archangel Michael saw it, and he broke it. He pierced through realms of darkness to reach you. Not because you begged, not because you were perfect, but because you are chosen. Your name is echoing across heaven today. And the reason? Because you refused to give up when it would have been easier to walk away. You held on, you prayed, you waited, and now heaven is responding. There is a shift happening around you. It's not dramatic, it's not noisy, it's sacred. The same heartbreak that kept revisiting your life in different forms, it's being unraveled. The same disappointment that kept dressing up as hope, it's being cast out. God says this was not punishment, it was preparation, and now you are ready. You're about to be lifted into places you never imagined. Heaven is about to reintroduce you to a world that thought you were done. Someone is speaking your name in a room you've never walked into. Someone is planning to bless you and they don't even know why. But heaven knows. Michael is standing guard now, not just around your life, but around your destiny. You are not too late. You are right on time. You've been feeling the tremble in your chest, that pull in your spirit, that knowing you can't explain. It's not anxiety, it's divine movement. God says, I've already begun to shake the ground beneath your miracle. That restlessness you've been carrying isn't discomfort, it's preparation. The kind of holy tension that shows up when heaven is about to collide with earth. Archangel Michael tried to come to you before, but the spiritual window wasn't open yet. You would have missed the message. You would have heard it, but not received it. So heaven waited. And now it's time. He is hovering over your home right now. Your name is on his scroll. Your walls are being covered in divine protection. He's removing people who've been draining your spirit, even if they smiled to your face. You sensed it. You felt the shift in their energy, but you had no proof. God says, I'm about to give you the proof. The masks are coming off. The hidden agendas are being exposed. Not to hurt you, but to free you. Someone who tried to stop what's coming for you is about to be caught. Someone who lied about you, someone who twisted your name, they are about to be confronted by the truth itself. God says, I heard the whisper. I saw the betrayal. And I didn't move because I was waiting for the perfect moment to restore you publicly. That moment has come. You stayed silent while they accused you. You stayed calm when they hoped you'd break. You didn't fight back. And that's why heaven is fighting for you now. Michael says you don't have to scream to be heard anymore. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. I was there. I caught every tear. I heard every midnight prayer. I held every broken moment in my hand. Now the alarm has been sounded. This is not a test. This is a release. You've been surviving when you were meant to thrive. You've been walking through life, quietly bleeding, still smiling, still serving, still showing up when no one showed up for you. But heaven was watching, and God says, enough. You are being awakened, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but prophetically. The gifts that were locked inside of you are being stirred again. The favor that was buried under years of pain is now rising to the surface. What you thought was lost is being restored. Archangel Michael says, this moment cannot be postponed. There is an anointing attached to now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Your soul has been carrying weight it was never meant to hold. The bitterness, the guilt, the unspoken grief, it's time to release it. You can't carry old pain into a new promise. What's coming is too heavy with glory to be held in tired hands. Someone you didn't expect is about to return, not for closure, but to confess. Someone who vanished is coming back with tears. Someone who mocked you will be the one asking for help. But God says, don't rise in pride, rise in purpose. You are not here to prove, you are here to shine. The miracle on the way is not small. It is a complete reversal, a divine plot twist, a moment that rewrites everything you thought was final. God is sending a messenger, someone unexpected. You may not know their face, but they carry something for you. Restoration, provision, a word of direction, an answer to a prayer you stopped praying because it hurt too much. This person doesn't come alone. They are backed by heaven. Their arrival is not coincidence, it is divine choreography. And when they appear, you will feel it. Your spirit will say, this is it. Don't question it, don't delay it. This is how heaven moves. The city. God says, this is your miracle moment. Time has paused for your breakthrough. The clock you've been staring at in frustration, heaven just reset it in your favor. This is not another motivational message. This is not meant to stir your emotions. It is meant to unlock your destiny. Right now, your name is being spoken in places your feet haven't yet touched. An angel is standing at the throne of God declaring, it is their time. The scroll has been opened, and it cannot be sealed again. Archangel Michael is pleading with you Don't ignore this. Don't assume this is just another word. Don't scroll away from your divine appointment. You know in your heart something is shifting. You felt the pressure building, the strange dreams, the invisible pull, the sense that you're standing at the edge of something, but you don't know what. That's confirmation. You don't need all the details. You need surrender. Heaven says, there are some blessings that only come once, not because God is stingy, but because divine windows are narrow by design. They require readiness. They demand obedience. July 12th is one of those windows. It's not just a day, it's a portal. A divine gate has swung open, and you are being invited to walk through. This is the unlocking. This is the unraveling. This is the unsealing of truth that was kept from you until now. God says, there were people who tried to tie your destiny to their darkness. They delayed your joy. They disrupted your peace. They whispered curses over your name. But now the chain is broken. The soul tie is severed. The blockage is dissolved, and the blessing is free to move. You won't need to chase it. It's chasing you. God says you will see proof of this with your own eyes. Not next year, not someday. Within days, confirmation will begin to appear. But right now, your faith must lead. You must believe before you see. That is the currency of the Spirit. That is the key that unlocks the floodgates. A letter is coming. A call is being made. A signature is about to be written. And when your name is spoken, doors that were welded shut will swing open without resistance. Michael says, prepare now. Clean your heart. Clear your space. Release what you've been hoarding emotionally. Let go of the bitterness. Forgive those who never said sorry. Bless the ones who tried to break you, not because they deserve it, but because your spirit cannot carry the weight of yesterday into what's coming. The next chapter of your life has no room for old wounds. You've been chosen to receive something sacred, and heaven is watching how you hold this moment. God is not just restoring what you lost, He's restoring it in multiplied form. Double for your pain, peace for your chaos, acceleration for your delay. And yes, you'll be surprised by who confesses. Someone who slandered your name will call you blessed. Someone who ghosted you will return in tears. Someone who laughed at your struggle will ask for your help. But heaven says, stay humble. This is not about revenge, it's about redemption. This is not the season to gloat, it's the season to grow. Archangel Michael is still standing guard, but now he's asking for your permission to fight on your behalf continuously. You must say yes. You must stay aligned. You must remain open. God is not finished. He's just getting started. God says, don't return to what I've rescued you from. Don't answer calls from those who only come around when they need something. Don't reattach yourself to pain that I've already healed. You are not meant to relive the past. You are meant to rebuild the future. This new season is sacred. It's not like the ones before. You are no longer walking in circles. You are moving in a divine sequence. You're not repeating lessons. You're receiving fulfillment. What's coming cannot be reversed. What's been set in motion cannot be touched by any enemy. This miracle is sealed, signed, sent, and it's moving toward you with divine speed. You've asked, God, is it really my time? And heaven says, yes, child, now is the moment. Heaven is touching earth through your life. And when it hits, you will cry not from pain, but from joy. You'll drop to your knees in gratitude, because what you thought was dead is about to come alive. The prayer you gave up on is returning answered. The dream you buried is walking toward you fully formed. The part of you that stopped believing is being revived. Michael has not left your side. Even when you couldn't feel him, even when your room felt cold and your spirit felt tired, he was there, collecting your tears, fighting battles behind the veil, holding the pieces of your promise in place. But now he is moving visibly. Now he says, I need your seriousness. I need your attention. This isn't just spiritual poetry. This is divine prophecy. Right now, God is resetting the foundation of your future. And every moment of silence, every night of crying, every act of faith you made when no one else was watching, it's being honored. Heaven is responding, not because you begged, but because you believed. God says, you are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not behind. Everything is being made new, not just restored, but transformed, not just returned, but multiplied. The time you thought was wasted is being rewritten. The love you thought was lost is being resurrected. The blessing you thought you missed is now chasing after you. You may not feel ready. You may still feel tired, uncertain, or broken. But heaven says you are aligned, not by your strength, but by divine grace. Even the person you've been thinking about, the one whose silence wounded you, God has not forgotten them either. Their absence was not rejection, it was protection. He is working in their heart even now, because what is real cannot be destroyed, and what is divine cannot be delayed. Restoration is coming. But first, revelation. The blindfolds are coming off. The veils are being lifted. God wants you to see clearly before he restores deeply. A financial shift is also approaching. Unexpected provision, debt cancellation, a gift that you didn't apply for, a blessing you didn't chase. God says, this is not just a handout. This is a setup. A setup to show you what happens when heaven moves on your behalf. You've lived in lack long enough. You've been the giver with an empty cup for too long. Now, heaven is pouring back into you, not just so you can rest, but so you can give again from overflow. Your health is being touched. That pain in your body, it's lifting. That anxiety, it's breaking. The restlessness in your sleep, it's being calmed. Because peace is now your portion. God says, I am not just healing your body, I'm healing your soul. Look closely now. Heaven is sending signs. Not loud, not theatrical, but sacred, soft, precise. You may see a feather on the ground, a name in a dream, a number that keeps repeating, or a message from someone you haven't spoken to in years. These aren't coincidences. They are confirmations. They're the language of heaven whispering, I'm near, I'm working, I'm with you. You've been asking if you're crazy, if you're just hoping too much, but God says, you're not crazy, you're not delusional, you're aligned. The stirring in your heart is real. The anticipation you feel is not imaginary, it is prophetic. Your spirit knows what your mind hasn't caught up to yet. Michael is still here. He says, don't give up now. Don't shut the door on your breakthrough. Don't believe the lie that you're not worthy. You are worthy, not because of perfection, but because of persistence, because of obedience in private, because of faith when no one was watching. That is what heaven honors. Someone once tried to curse you. They used words, intentions, energies to limit your future. But God says, I turned their curses into fertilizer. What they buried you with, I used to grow you. Your prayers weren't wasted. Your sacrifices weren't unnoticed. Every fast, every sleepless night, every act of quiet surrender, they've reached the throne. And now God says, now is your time. Now is your moment. Now is your release. The heaviness is lifting. Even the atmosphere around your home is shifting. The air feels lighter. The peace is tangible because Michael is placing a shield of light over you. Your mind, your body, your relationships, your future. You are covered. You are safe. And you are chosen. God says, this is not the end, it is the beginning, a beginning wrapped in favor, sealed in promise, and drenched in glory. You are stepping into a chapter that carries the kind of blessing you once only dreamed about. No more chasing, no more begging, no more wondering if it will ever be your turn. Your season of divine ease has arrived. Let your shoulders drop, breathe. Heaven is carrying the weight now. The pain you've endured is being answered with purpose. The tears you cried in silence are watering the garden of your next season. Every delay was actually direction. Every closed door was divine detour. Every heartbreak was holy redirection. God says you are going to receive more than what you lost. You are going to laugh again, and this time it won't be from relief, but from joy. Michael is standing at the gates of your life, scroll in hand, your name written in gold, and as he reads it aloud, angels are being deployed. Assignments are being released. The enemy is being silenced because you didn't quit. Your timeline is being restored. The years you thought were wasted are being redeemed. Opportunities are coming back around, but this time with favor attached. You are no longer overlooked. You are no longer stuck. You are no longer behind. You are chosen. You are protected. You are ready. And as this divine shift unfolds, expect acceleration. Expect sudden favor. Expect unexpected encounters, emails, phone calls, doors that no human could have opened. And through it all, peace. Because the presence of God brings peace that cannot be faked. Say this now, God, I receive it. I won't miss it. I believe it's for me. And heaven responds, it is done. Michael bows his head and whispers, they've said yes. Now, watch what happens next.